Hello everyone. Today we have a Diamond 4 Baptiste review. This video covers mistakes with basically every single aspect of Bap's kit, so if you're interested in any one specific thing, you can use the timestamps in the description to skip around to what you're looking for. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, let's get into this review. I have not watched this yet at all. All I know is that it's a really close game where he was panicking but still played well. I'd like to know how I should use Ult Immortality Field, any other mistakes, thanks. So let's just get into this. So this is Diamond 4, so we're going to be looking for all sorts of things. I mean, when you're in Diamond on PC, you've got to start looking at the really small things. So we're going to look at basically every ability usage. We're going to see if there's any weaving, so any shooting both the primary fire and the secondary fire, and it won't slow down your healing at all. I think everybody pretty much knows this by now. This isn't new information, but we're going to be looking for it. The abilities, the ult. We're going to also be looking at how you use Exo Boots. Obviously, repositioning is important, but we want to make sure that we're not in a habit of just jumping really high if there's no point to doing it. So sometimes it's useful against certain heroes. You want to be in the air, like a Pharah, for instance. If they have a Pharah, you want to be jumping, but if they have, let's say, an Ashe or a Widow or whatever, then it's actually disadvantageous to be jumping all the time because it makes you easier to hit. I think you know all this, but we're just going to make sure you're actually doing it. Okay, we're really struggling to get with our Sig here. So our Sig kind of leaves us here, right? And he goes into this chamber. And we, of course, we don't want to run into there, right? It's a little scary, especially with the Hog not leaving yet. But the thing is that we've got to find a way to our Sigma, so if we're, you know, if he's going to stay in there, or if he wants to fight on the left, then we're going to have to go around to get to him earlier. Because at this point now, you can't be, you have to realize, I mean, you can hear with the audio that he's trying to go around and that all these people here have left to go fight him. And so you're either safe to walk in here, which is what I would recommend, especially as soon as like the Hog rotates. I think you're fine to go the short way. If you're not going to go in here, you need to like make up your mind quickly to get to your Sig, right? So we're too slow. It is kind of our Sig's fault. I mean, maybe there was communication I'm missing, but we do want to be a little bit faster to get to that. And we also paid no attention to the Echo that was spraying stickies onto us and got both us and someone else pretty weak. Right? On a half, Bap less than half, and then we missed the lamp. I mean, it happens. I know what you were going for though. And so let's keep moving on because this isn't the end of the world. We kind of all have a start like this. The only thing I would say about that fight is that you should realize that you can take the short way around, and so when your Sig backs up, you should be able to, you should already be there to help him basically. Okay, I almost said something before it happened, but I ended up not, and you can just tell kind of right here that we're just too close, right? And maybe you can't tell, maybe that's why we play here, but if you can tell you're in Hog's range, especially, you know, this part of the map, there's really no reason to be here. Especially on the right side, there's no cover, right? Your only cover is either going to be going in here, which is very risky, or trying to back up and play like this cover here, but this doesn't work against people on the high ground, right? So you basically have no cover here except for this. And so first real positioning mistake happens, you get hooked. We'll see what happens or how you react to it. Yeah, the lamp is fine. We're just in this like really awkward spot where we don't want to leave, but we also don't want to stay, right? We're too close. We don't want to be there, but it's hard to get out. And I would say you just need to back up while you have your cooldowns. And so the problem here, lamp is good, right? Lamp is good, obviously. And then we need to run away because at this point, Hog doesn't have hook. So your only threat is really the DPS. And especially the reason why I think you still need to run away here is because you still have Regen Burst. So you can get out of here. You don't have to stay here. You do get out. You do use Regen Burst. Nice. Too close again. We're going to see if the Hog hooks you for it. But this is exactly where you just got hooked. You gotta, you know, hopefully you just run straight behind cover here. Good. Yoris is feeding. This is good for you though. Good on you trying to get him help, but not much you can really do there. He went in way too deep. I'm not really sure what he was even looking for. And you got him about as much help as you could. I do want to say, if you had Lamp here, like if you hadn't gotten hooked and you had Lamp, you might be able to get Orisa out. Like probably not, right? And it's not your fault either way. Like this Orisa is just feeding. But if you had your cooldowns, you might be able to, I mean specifically Lamp, you might have been able to get him out of there. Even though you shouldn't have had to, right? Your shooting is good. And then these heals are very good. Good use of the Exo Boots. Yep, that was a pretty good fight for you. You are heal botting a little bit. We're gonna look out for that in the future, right? We're just this is the most obvious example so far, like the last 5 seconds, right? It's just but you have done it before as well, where you're kind of just healing people with, you know, full health or 90% of their health bar, and it's just more valuable for you to shoot when that happens, right? So if your teammates aren't in danger of dying, it's usually better to shoot at the enemy instead of at your teammates. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Yep, and we're in hook range again. We get a little distracted by the clone. I mean, this fight's already lost anyways, but at this point your tank's already respawned, and it's, you know, it's time to regroup and get the hell out of there. Right, and here we should have been backing up. I think we're just playing here because we still have field, right? But we have a lot of cover. I mean, just watch. Right, we're right next to cover. And we just kind of don't use it, and we die for it, and that is a stagger. But it happens. Yep, great, that's great. I love how you shoot at the Mercy and the Echo. I mean, it's just more important for someone to deal with them, and you don't know if your team's gonna do it. So that's good, and that's gonna win you games. Hopefully you do more of that. I know that example wasn't like super crazy or anything, but that is the right mindset. We want to be shooting at the enemy more. Nice. Good lamp. Obviously, I want to say one thing about the lamp. Could be in this corner, like all the way in this corner. I don't have my pin open, so I can't really draw on the screen right now. But just next time, try and make it like a reaction to think like, can you get it behind a wall somewhere? Because Hog could shoot the lamp if he's paying a little more attention. Right, so he has to heal because he's weak. But let's say this Hog doesn't get weak and he still gets to shoot the Orisa. The first thing he's going to do is destroy the lamp. Right? Yeah, there's not even a frame where you can see it, right? But if he's standing here, that lamp's dead. But the idea of the lamp is good. Just tuck it into this corner. Okay, I need to watch this one more time. All right, I think that was good. I'm happy with your window usage. I don't really think window is as easy to get value from as some people think it is. You can try and put it in front of your whole team. At that time it worked for sure. A lot of the time that's not going to work, and you'll just have to use it on yourself, which I think we'll probably see later. I mean, I don't know anybody who only uses it for their team, but the one thing I wanted to talk about that I wasn't so sure about was the Alarial and the timing on it. If you hear that voice line, you can probably charge up your Exo Boots and just jump out of it. But I'm not sure if the timing worked. Right, it was pretty tight. You had kind of just landed when that voice line started, and then she shot it basically right after, so it would have been really hard for you to get out. But hopefully you recognize next time that happens that you can jump out of that. Yeah, window was good. The nano boost was definitely not necessary, but that's not you, that's your teammate, so. Yep, we're looking to shoot. It's fine. I mean, it happens. Sometimes you just die in stupid ways and it happens. Alright, moving on from that. Okay, another positioning mistake. I know it's very chaotic because at this point the hog's in front of you and the rest of their DPS are behind you. But like think where you could go where you would be safe for both, right? You're gonna be kind of in this little, because you have to be out of this sight line. Like you have to be, right? They had 3 people, I think, shooting you from here. Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is stupid, right? You had to get out of there. And you were more worried about the hog, and you just didn't recognize the fact that you're going to die if you push them. So I get that you're trying to take action into your own hands. Maybe. I'm actually not exactly sure. It's probably just like a panic thing. But yeah, we just need to not be here, basically. And as soon as we do go here, we're just gonna die. It's not like you misplayed once you got here. It's just going there was the misplay. You need to be with your team a little more. And I don't even like this position, like way back here. I think you just hug this wall. And if they jump down, like if multiple of them jump down, they're like really exposing themselves. And then hopefully your team can deal with them at that point. Like you and your team. If they stay up here, they're not really going to be able to do anything to you. If they jump down, they should be at like big risk. And then your whole team can help. Not a lot to talk about here. Tech Visor, the only thing that changes about our playstyle is that we're going to be looking to use our abilities to support this if we need to, but we don't want to just like, I mean, if he just sprints in front of 5 people, there's not really a point to even keeping him alive. It's not like he's going to get kills with this, with the hog in front. But if he is in like a power position and needs support, and you think he's probably going to be able to do something with it, then I'd be hovering my lamp key bind or hovering my shift. Yeah, maybe we threw it a little too fast, but hey, I just said I'd be hovering it. I'm, not the end of the world. Your team kind of wins this fight without you. That's fine. It happens. You're just kind of healed, did your thing. We're really hesitant on using our shift, which I think is good. And I really do think that most, and by most, I mean like 90% of the Baptiste I watch use it too much or too early. But you just like don't use it like at all unless you're about to die. So I think you might be able to use it a little more. But it is good to hold it if you're not sure if you should be using it or not, because the value it gets when your teammates are under 50% is very good. It's very strong, and using it before anyone's under 50% is usually a waste. So there's a few exceptions for that, but there's a few exceptions for everything. So honestly, you got a pretty good team this game. You haven't really had to do that much. You haven't really had to make that many plays. Like your window was good and your abilities have been fine. Like your lamp could be better, but you haven't done anything like that wrong really. You've died a couple times out of position. I think twice out of position now. And your team is still just kind of rolling them. So it might be hard to get anything out of this because your team is actually just good enough where your mistakes aren't really like causing anything bad to happen. So you have to look for what could be a mistake rather than what was, a mistake. Great shooting. I love that you're not heal botting your Orisa. Awesome. Good reaction with lamp. We have to ask, do we need the shift anymore, right? That was the first time we really wasted shift. And I know that our health bar is low, right? But we're not in danger of dying at all. As soon as lamp gets down, we're safe. And so the shift is just not needed. And one more note about that about the shift use is that I know it might just be hard to hold off. Like you're super low. You're not sure if you're going to die or not. But you have to be able to think rationally when a lot of things are happening if you want to get to high ranks. You have to. So in a situation like that, you need to ask yourself, am I going to die? Can anyone on the enemy team even see me? And the answer was no. You were behind cover. No one can see you. There's no way you could die there. You were in lamp as well. So nice. You tried to get out this time. I saw you charge up the boots. A little too slow, but the recognition was there, and that's all I really cared about. And then the shooting is obviously really good here. Your soldier does die behind you, but I think, honestly, it's fine. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, so it looks like the Hanzo was, oof. Looks like he almost hit you, but yeah, gets the soldier. We are tunnel visioned a little bit, right? But I would not say that's the end of the world. Sometimes stuff like that's going to happen. And the thing was, is the first time I watched this through, I didn't even realize there was a Hanzo there, which is why I had to go back and look again, right? I literally had no idea Hanzo was even there. You probably didn't either, so. The one thing I do want to say about this play is that the shift was definitely wasted, but other than that, this was... Okay, first decently large mistake in a while, right? It's not just misuse of an ability. It's probably the biggest mistake since the last time we went out of position, but we didn't react to that sound cue at all. At all, right? We're so focused on whatever we're doing. And I know we really want that kill, but we cannot ignore a visor, right? Just can't do it. Because if he's shooting you, you're already dead. And he's not shooting you, but you're just like, you're honestly pretty lucky that you're not already dead here. And we have to react to that. I know we don't have cooldowns, but shooting at him, you know, finding cover to get behind him because he has literal aimbot right now is first priority. So as soon as you hear that, you kind of just got to drop this and you got to see like what the hell's going on, right? And he picks up a 3-piece. And there might not have been that much we could do about that, right? Like we didn't have our cooldowns. You know, if we had shift, maybe we live long enough to kill him. Probably not, but maybe. And he dies anyways to dynamite, and he got purpled as well. But maybe if we turned around and put 2 or 3 bullets into him, we could have saved one or both of our teammates there, and potentially went on and won the fight. It's hard to say. You probably wouldn't have anyways, but we do need to react to that. It is a bit of an awareness thing that we need to work on. All right, we finally will get to see you pushing into a defense that's already set up, which is something we haven't really even seen yet, except for maybe the first point. All right, in your head right now, I want you to think on a scale of 1 to 10, what do I think this ult is? How good do I think this ult is? All right, and what I am gonna say about this ult is that it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's not the best. I wouldn't say it's the best, right? But your saving grace is that this Torb is dead. He is smoked. Just out in the open, nowhere near cover. He's dead in the next half second. I think both of these people are safe, and that's what makes it like not so great, right? Like look at your angle. You didn't wait long enough for your team to be there. But you did basically get 1 free kill with this ult. And I haven't even watched this for it. I have no idea if the Torb dies, but I'm like very, very sure that the Torb is going to die. And then what also is good about this is that it makes it super hard for this hog to cross back over. Like he can't walk in front of this, and he's gonna have to, I don't even know what he's gonna do. Like, is he gonna walk all the way around here? Who knows? Let's watch and find out. But I would say this is like a 5, 6. It's probably got to be at least a 6 or 7 out of 10 if you're gonna get a free kill from it. The only thing is that maybe you would have gotten this kill anyways. Oh wow, it's actually only you and the Ana. Maybe the Torb lives. Hopefully not. Torb has a huge hitbox, but this is the problem, right? Is that you didn't know, you know, where my DPS here. Because if your DPS are standing where you are, these people might be dead too, but they're not going to die. Those people are honest, like for sure safe. Torb lives as well. Everything I said was wrong. I think in theory it's still fine because you have 2 people looking through a window at Torb who has no cover. Oh, you don't even shoot at Torb. Unfortunate. All right, we're gonna go with 6 out of 10. I look kind of dumb for what actually happened, but I think it wasn't bad. I just think you needed to shoot at the Torb because he was the one that didn't have cover anywhere near him. And if you and Ana had shot at the Torb, let's see where Ana was probably trying to hit you, wasn't she? No, she was trying to hit the Torb as well. Well, unfortunate. I thought it was fine. Maybe I'll have to redo this segment. We'll see. Let's try it. We waste shift. Lamp was a good try, right? Lamp was good. Our aim is a little bit off with it, but I mean, it happens. It's hard to aim, especially with the Exo Boots, but the shift is definitely wasted, right? And so that's going to be 3 shifts on this last point that we've wasted, and that is going to be something we're gonna need to fix if we want to climb. We can't be, I mean, your cooldowns are so long, you just can't be using it whenever you want. Nice, this is good. Right, he doesn't need, your soldier's fine. He doesn't need healed. He's, you know, basically full health. You need to be shooting the Doomfist, exactly what you're doing. And you also recognized, I think you recognized that jumping against the Doomfist is good, which it is good. So good for you. That was a good fight, besides wasting the shift. This is good as well. All right, couple mistakes, couple wasted abilities. Nothing too crazy though, but yeah, a couple wasted abilities that we're gonna need to watch out for. And a few positioning mistakes. I'd say 2 or 3 this round, but they weren't the end of the world really. And even when you died, your team still kind of won all the fights. But just enough positioning mistakes that there's definitely easy improvements, right? That's what I mean. And I'd say all of your position mistakes came from awareness issues where you didn't really recognize what you had to do. It wasn't just like you choosing to go out of the wrong position with all the information. You might have just not realized what you could have done or what you should have done better. So I'd say maybe it's more like awareness issues than positioning, or like recognition of where the enemy is or like where the threat is. That, and then ability usage. I think your ult usage was fine this round. I mean, it's like a little shaky on, I mean, you're not, right? It's not slam dunk ults, but they're not the worst I've ever seen either. I'd say they're pretty typical. And I think Baptiste is harder than people, harder than people say it is. I don't think it's easy to have like consistently good Baptiste ults. So let's get into the second half. Okay, Widow. I like reviewing against Widows. I know playing against Widows is no fun, but it really shows like if you have good positioning or not, right? This is my advice for everybody. Pretty much everybody on PC. I don't know how Widows are on console, so I can't speak to that. But if you're on PC, my advice is to treat the Widow as if she has aimbot until she proves that she doesn't. And I know that Widows don't actually have aimbot, right? But you should play as if she can see you, you're gonna get shot in the head until she misses a couple times, and she proves that she's not that good. Then you can challenge her more. But really, you get to really see how good you are at positioning when you're playing against a Widow. It's super obvious, right? All right, we got to be a little scared. Orisa just dipped, and we're not in a safe position anymore. I think we realize it. We're in like a very awkward spot, right? And I think you can see on the screen why. All right, and we are forced to use our cooldowns because we're in this awkward spot. We don't love it, and this is kind of the problem with where we're playing. We wanted to stay high ground. We left too late, and that's why we're in the spot we're in. It's not because you started in a bad spot. It's because you didn't leave quick enough. Once you peek out here and you see the Hanzo, you have to go back into cover, right? You have to use your shift because you're about to die. That's all good. Like your ability usage is good, but you shouldn't have to use these abilities if you're in the correct position already. So. We salvaged the situation for a little bit, but yeah, we need to get through that doorway down there. Like we gotta get through here and get safe. And we kind of die in the moment. You want to blame your Orisa there, and you're like, why is my Orisa, being stupid and leaving? But really, it's just we didn't recognize that our team was shifting back, which is inevitably going to happen on this point. And we just didn't adapt quick enough, and we had to use our cooldowns because of it. And then when we finally stabilized, we had no cooldowns because everything is 16 seconds or longer, and then Moira just comes in and cleans you up. So all right, we're on Ryan now. I do need to make one note about the Sigma. I haven't talked about this yet, but Baptiste is so good at shield break. He's so good at it. I really haven't seen you alternate or what we call weaving your healing and damage at all, but when they have a shield, like it's necessary. I know shooting players is hard. I mean, I still recommend doing it against players, right? Shoot a heal, damage, shoot a heal, damage, but especially if they have a shield, you just can't miss it, right? Heal your Rhine, damage the shield, heal your Rhine, damage the shield, etc. So we're really gonna look for that. You really have to be doing that, basically. There's already position mistakes going on in this fight. Think for a couple seconds. If you have to pause the video, pause it and think what could I possibly be talking about, right? Like how is this a position mistake? The thing is that by going to this right side, we give ourselves no escape path, right? If they push us and our team, caves in like they are, we have no escape path here. It's fight, not flight. Like there's no flight, there's nowhere to go. You're just gonna have to fight your way out of this. And the bigger problem, the reason why it's actually a mistake, is that we have a really shallow angle onto this fight. If your team rotates this way behind cover, then yeah, you're in a better spot. But over here by this pillar is going to be better because our team is usually going to be using the front of the payload as cover, right? They're going to be especially Ryan is going to be playing around here. Yeah, well, You get the idea, right? Most Ryans are going to be playing around here, trying to live, use the payload, and maybe they'll retreat over to this side. So it's just always better for you to be somewhere where you're going to have an angle on the fight that's both useful to you, like gives you an escape path, and useful to the people you're trying to heal, right? It looks like we're actually winning this fight. Hopefully we don't C9 this. Oh, it looks like everyone on the card just died, so we're not going to C9. But yeah, we give ourselves no escape path and no angle on the people we're trying to heal. And it leads to us having to do things like, you know, dropping down to try and heal him. And this fight, it doesn't matter because we've won. Not by anything we did, mind you. We won because our team was good. But in the future, that could be something that actually costs you a fight, right? You pick the wrong side of that archway to stand on, and all of a sudden you have to get like way out of position to heal someone, and then you die, and then your team loses. Didn't happen this fight, but could happen next one. And that's a huge hold because their spawn is so far away. More shooting the shield, less reloading. I don't know why we're reloading when we have 36 bullets, 10 heals left, etc. Just keep, you know, as much pressure on them as you can. Good. I like that you didn't waste your shift. A lot of like lower level Baptiste would have shifted there because they're not sure if they can hit the Sojourn and they really don't want to let her die, right? You might be surprised by how many Baptiste would just reflex shift. So I just want to point that out that you didn't. That's good. Good lamp. Right? And we die because we're just way out of position, right? And I know we're not even looking at the person who killed us, the Moira. I mean, who even knows what the Moira's doing, right? But we're taking damage that's not just the Moira, right? We're standing in the literal... Let's watch the Hanzo. I think the Hanzo's the one shooting you as well. Yeah, right? We can have cover from that angle. And we still might die here anyways because this Moira is using all of her abilities and shifting on you, but your Sojourn's looking at her, and if you're full health, you're not taking the 140 Hanzo shot to the body, whatever it is, 120, 140, I'm not sure. We can be in a safer spot and just 2v1 this Moira. Who knows? Maybe we live, maybe we don't. But another positioning mistake. It is just recurring over and over again. I also need to note one more thing. And that thing is that positioning mistakes occur on a spectrum. There's some things that are either all good or all bad, right? Like your shift ability is more of like a point mistake where it's either it's good or bad. There are like kind of okay shifts, but most of them are either very good or very bad. Whereas positioning mistakes are this big long spectrum where at the very end of the spectrum, at one end of the spectrum, you have like horrible, terrible, like brainless positioning mistakes. At the other end, you have perfect positioning. So when I say you are making positioning mistakes, I'm not saying that these are the worst things. You know, you're hard throwing, your positioning is so bad. I'm just saying that it could be better is what I'm saying. This window's fine as well, but it's just fine. I would say it's worse than your previous one, the one where you died. And that's because your team is not ready. I don't even have to look and see. You haven't seen anyone from your team on your screen in like the last 10 seconds. They're all dealing with Hanzo. Even if you haven't seen them, you should kind of realize that no one's here. And the other thing is that it's not just waiting for your team, right? But like, what are you going to do with this? A lot of the times you have to use your ult just for yourself, especially if you're positioned behind your team, which is usually the case. I know it hasn't been the case this game. Even if you use this realizing you're the only one who's going to be able to use it, you're not going to kill the Roadhog, right? You're not going to do it. You're not going to kill the Genji either. You don't know if he has deflect or not, which means you have to assume he does have deflect, which he does, and dash. So you'll get a lot of damage off on this Roadhog, but that's basically it, right? And then you'll just force them out of line of sight. But you're not really going to get a kill here unless the enemy makes a misplay. So it's good for applying pressure, but it's not really going to do you a whole lot of favors in terms of getting a kill, which is usually what you want from this. We kind of walked back into a dragon. The dragon took most of our health. The Genji just finished us off. I do think that's an awareness issue, right? We did see the dragon earlier. Like, we turned and visibly saw it. Right? Just a flash, but we saw it. We walked back into it. So yeah, another awareness thing. I think awareness is going to be the biggest thing for you to work on. Realizing where the threat is and how to react to that. So... all right. What might I say about this? Your whole team is doing it, right? Your whole team is doing it. Actually, I take it back. Your Ana is like pretty good at positioning. This is what your positioning as Ana would look like, right? This is good, but you're just kind of floating out here, right? And you tuck into cover better, a lot better. You can see the difference, right? This is gold. This is what a gold player would do. This is what a diamond player would do. And the reason you even did that is because you got hit by Hanzo, right? Next time, that Hanzo arrow is in your face and you're dead. So we don't need to be kind of jumping about like a chicken with our head cut off in the middle of the archways. We can play with cover. Okay, the shift is good because you were reloading and you weren't going to be able to save the Hanzo. I do want to say though that we are not good at looking behind us and figuring out what's going on. And a lot of the time we have no idea what's happening to the people behind us. And the reason I point this out now, it's the same situation that happened with the soldier ult where we didn't look and see what was going on. The same thing happens with this Moira ult. We know that 2 of our teammates are behind us and we have no idea like if they're good or if they're not good or if they need help. And I was kind of expecting them to just show up in the kill feed, right? Moira kills your Ana, Moira kills your Sojourn. It doesn't happen. But you can tell that like this is aimed behind you. It's at your other teammates and you don't know what's going on with them. So awareness issue. We see the Moira fade, right? Moira just faded. We're so worried about crossing this archway to get to the right side that we don't look at our Hanzo at all. And by the time we realize it, it's too late. He dies. We could have saved him 100%. We could have also killed the Moira. I think she was, you know, 1 burst. Could have been killed in 1 burst. So another awareness issue. And at this point, I'm kind of just repeating myself. All the same mistakes are happening again. You know, all the things you're good at, you're doing pretty well. All the things that could be fixed, you're kind of playing on the same level. So we're not going to go through this entire replay. We're just going to go until this round is over. We're not going to do overtime if there is an overtime. Because I think all the, you know, I'm just kind of going in circles at this point. We've kind of figured it out. Yeah, you did your best there. You get lamp back. I think it's too late. Yeah, it's too late. Nice try. It's time to leave. Keep walking back. Yep, nice. We're back on Orisa. They're on Zarya now. And this one's actually good. We get a good ult, like a legitimately good ult. Our whole team is ready for it, and we catch people without cover. Great. Love that. Do more of that. That's 10 out of 10 Baptiste ult. Lamp is fine here. Could have aimed it a little better, but it's fine. Our Ana dies behind us, but she got 1 shot. It is what it is. Nice job dealing with the threat. Yeah, this fight's really good for you. I like this. We are heal botting a lot, which is fine. We have to heal bot, right? Someone's always critical, but try and work if you can on the weaving in some damage. It doesn't have to be every time, right? I know you really need to hit these heals, but we can weave in a little bit more damage, right? Hit a heal, hit some damage, heal, damage, right? All right, we totally lose sight of our Orisa there. I know I didn't say anything for a while, but we're very busy trying to deal with these guys, and that's okay. But at some point, we have to realize that our Orisa needs like attention. She hasn't been healed in 10 seconds, and your Baptiste, all you do here is you just use your Exo Boots, and then hit her with a couple heals. Maybe throw the lamp. Maybe it doesn't work, but you need to at least try. Again, we use lamp in a position where, right? You automatically see it, right? You've seen it now. Could be here. It would do the same thing. She wouldn't be able to kill it. The fact that we don't die for it is good. But yeah, another mistake. Ability usage. It's honestly good. You have a lot of things you can work on. And they're all like small things. I'd say wasting shift is like your biggest mistake. You just have a decent amount of just totally wasted ones, but you also have more good ones than bad ones. But you know, fixing your shift, fixing where you throw your lamp, when you throw your lamp is good, but fixing where you throw your lamp, fixing how you use your ults, they haven't been terrible, but like could use some work, and that's just an experience thing. I won't say that you can just overnight get, you know, way better Baptiste ults, and then working on weaving in like healing and damage. You're gonna get a lot of value out of that. Like, you get absolutely shredded right here. I think he must have triple headshotted you. That was ridiculous. I have no idea how you died that fast. But anyways, you're probably in a spot where you shouldn't be you know, you don't really need to be here, right? So. And by you don't need to be here, I mean like you really shouldn't be here. Alright, and that's gonna wrap it up. I'll throw a recap up on screen here. We're not, like I said, we're not going to go over the other rounds. I don't think there's really anything to talk about. We wouldn't really find anything that we haven't already seen. But you're going to want to work on, you know, not wasting your shifts is going to be important for you. You're going to want to work on getting better placement of your lamp. So getting lamp where it needs to be, behind corners. It'll still cover the same people, but it won't, you know, it won't get shot down instantly. You're going to want to work on ults. Basically everything, right? I'm basically telling you to work on everything. Your positioning, your awareness, everything can be fixed, but it's not, you're not making huge mistakes with any of them. I'd say positioning maybe is one of your biggest mistakes, but you know, these aren't huge game-ending mistakes from you. These are just small things, but all of these small things add up. And if you fix all these small things, right, you're in GM all of a sudden. And that's going to take a while. That's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen from this one VOD review, but you can see how you have all these areas to work on and you want to clean them up one by one, right? So just work on what's on screen. I have one more thing to talk about today, and that is stats. I'm going to flash some stats of, you know, top Baptiste players and how much damage, especially how much damage they're doing per 10 versus how much healing they're doing per 10. And that's going to be where one of the, you know, biggest differences is that top Baptiste are usually, they're weaving healing and damage, but usually they put one heal and then 2 bursts of damage before they'll do another heal, unless they really, really need to heal someone. So that's what I'm going to say about that. You can see, you'll be able to see the difference. Yeah, that's all I have for this VOD review. That's all for today. If you got value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. I hope you enjoyed, but more importantly, I hope you learned something today. See you in the next one.